And welcome back to BTF and Dubs. Gozzy, how are you doing, brother?
Rone, Rone, I am good, man. Surviving this weather, which is nice, which is good. How you doing, bro? How you doing, broski?
About the same, a lot better after beach break.
Yeah,
Felt
it
like a
was a
real
good.
beach break for
Yeah,
me, So no, I've been doing good, Can't complain.
no, it's good, man. It's yeah, it was a good one. I mean, obviously, I think it's the first time in a while we've done one where we've just been able to sort of relax with the flow and go with it. I know it's a couple of days after the show, but at the same time, it's not. We're managing to get into a bit of a flow at least, and
For
for
now,
now,
that's
for
gonna
now,
stop for the next couple of weeks due to work. But you know what? We'll get back into the flow of it at some stage, probably.
yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds good.
But I'll tell you what, Gozzy, let's jump in. Let's talk about this show, this mini pay-per-view that AEW had, and just how goddamn good it was.
Yeah, it was. You know what? It's very weird because in if you look at it, and I think you obviously alluded to it. This is like when WWE run a Saturday night's main event, except they do it midweek. It's fine. You can do it midweek. You don't have to do everything on a weekend.
Yeah.
Don't
Uh,
see why you have to. And AEW are they do it often, which is fine. I actually quite enjoy that. Because if you keep telling me, oh, it's going to be a Saturday night's main event, I know it's a Saturday night's main event, which means if I want to watch it, I either have to stay up and deal with the fucking ad breaks. Thank you very much, WWE. Or I can literally, or you watch it the next day and you still have to deal with the breaks. So what's the point? May as well not watch it live if you still have to deal with the ad breaks.
that's why we generally don't watch them live anymore. Just
It's just
purely
the
because of
point.
that. It's too much of a chore. It's too long to do that. Whereas having it on your regular TV show, yeah, there'll be ad breaks, but that's because it's TV.
I saw something the other day, just so you know. I know we'll get into beach break now, but WWE over the last year or something, their average show is like 40 to 44% wrestling. Like a PLE
So
is
less than
40 to
half.
40 is like 40 to 44% wrestling. The rest of it is all ad breaks and vignettes or videos or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
that even that, we barely get vignettes slash hype packages anyway. So
Yeah, so it's mostly ads and like the odd sort of backstage interview that
interaction, yeah.
has run its course with they say the same things every single time,
Yeah.
you know?
So yeah, but I mean, just thought I'd point that out. I saw it obviously on social media. So yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting thing to note. But talking about backstage interviews, I mean, you kicked off Beach Break with a little bit of fisticuffs between Kenny and MJF.
And you mean Osprey and MJF, and
Sorry,
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
me a little
sorry,
bit of fisticuffs. Like, let's
yeah,
be
sorry,
real. And this is why, and you'll see from the thumbnail, everybody, this is how you book, right?
mm-hmm.
And we have been in our previous couple of episodes, we have brought it up a few times in like how we would book and how they should book, and like I mean, obviously that is a lot of fantasy booking, sure,
Yeah,
but a lot of it is based around logic and how you just build up a certain story.
and to maintain the story if you're going to do that.
Exactly. And that's 100%. So I'll tell you what, normally we would start off with like the earlier bits of the show. I say we jump straight into the main event show because two very similar things happen between WWE and AEW, and this is the difference in booking, right?
I think, and I'm sorry to cut you off quickly. I think because WWE knew what AEW were doing at Beach Break, is why we kind of got what we got at Monday Night Raw. It was their way of,
What kinds of booking?
yeah, in my opinion, if I'm looking at it now, I think it was their way of counter. They probably had it in place for a while, but we've also had the match between Kenny Omega and MJF for a while. So we had it for a couple of weeks. So, I mean, I think it played into WWE's favor that they were in Chicago.
Sure, absolutely.
But at the same time, I think it was a quick way of them counter booking, if I'm honest with you. I don't. And like you say, this is how it's done right, and WWE did it wrong.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, right? So for WWE, you had our guy Sami Zayn hold the title belt for 9 days before dropping it to CM Punk with zero build. There was nothing there besides the fact that it was in Chicago, which is his hometown.
Yeah.
So okay, so you get the pop for now. Also, we can go back in time and have CM Punk face Finn Balor in Belfast and retain,
Mm.
even though it's Finn's hometown. So there's a bit of favoritism going on there. And I understand this is also about your star power at the stage.
Yeah.
And CM Punk has always had that star power, especially since he's come back in WWE. So I understand why you wanted to have the match, but you gave us absolutely nothing. We alluded to it in our previous episode with why is Nick Aldis, who's supposedly suspended, there. First of all.
Yeah.
Second of
Yeah.
all, it's a Monday Night Raw, so why is Sammy there? Because Adam Pearce decided. So again, you've done everything you absolutely can to get the SmackDown champion on a Raw just to lose it.
Yeah. But also, on that, like Nick Aldis, if he's suspended, why not do the stupid? I'd be more inclined for it. Why not do the stupid schlock of him buying a ticket and being a fan, right? And then you could have him interact with Adam Pearce in a hallway while Adam Pearce is walking somewhere. It doesn't have to be backstage. It could be Adam Pearce trying to
Could
go
be at
from
the
one
concession
one
stand.
yeah,
could be
from one
getting
section to another.
popcorn.
And he bumps into him, and then you have that, and it, he kind of takes it on himself to make the phone call rather than being in backstage. Like you say, he's suspended. He shouldn't be allowed anywhere near the work environment. If you're suspended, if you and I were suspended from work, we would never be allowed to be back. We would never be allowed in the office.
No.
So why is Nick Aldis in the office?
So now,
look at logic.
Absolutely. Again, and this is all I'm saying with the point I was trying to make. Like when we come up with our little like side storylines of how we see it going, yeah, it's fantasy booking, but it's also based a lot around how logically speaking it would work within this world.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I know not everybody would have watched SmackDown. I know you haven't, but here's a bit of a spoiler: the suspension is lifted, and Nick Aldis is back already.
Okay,
so cool. So you forced that hand for no reason. Because you want to do a Gunter Nick Aldis thing, maybe. I still don't even know if he's like able to wrestle or if that's going to happen, but that's beside the point. The point here is that
my caveat is he needs to come back as Magnus, not as Nick Aldis, if he's going to do that. Magnus was his best character, but that's the way it needs to be. If he's going to come in as a wrestler, he needs to say, I'm done being Nick Aldis. I am Magnus type thing. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be that way.
But once again, that would be good booking. And that's not what WWE is capable of right now.
No.
Right? This whole thing with Sammy and Cody and Gunther and Nick Aldis being suspended, but then he's allowed to make calls on a different brand that isn't his. And now you bring CM Punk back just to beat Sami Zayn in Chicago, and then he's actually now the SmackDown champion. I know they call it the WWE Undisputed Champion on that brand, but let's be real, there's a Raw champion and a SmackDown champion.
Yeah.
So this is how you build 2 weeks worth of absolute nothing booking that has taken me completely out of it because I like Sammy. I know he wasn't going to be champ for long, and I didn't want him to be champ for long, but I wanted him to be champ for longer than 9 days. And at least give me a reason as to why he's losing. They've got Madison Square Garden in a week. You don't do it at Madison Square Garden, you could have Punk return in Chicago and challenge Sammy for it. Cool.
Yeah.
Now this is where we get to AEWs. There's no sort of, Kenny Omega just sort of called his shot and he got one. No, it's been built in for a while with his diverticulitis, the fact that he's faced MJF in the past and they keep running to each other backstage. Sammy and CM Punk haven't spoken to each other in months backstage.
Yeah.
Right? CM Punk's been off TV for months. Since WrestleMania. Well, the week after.
Since the Raw after Mania.
The Raw after Mania, right? So, okay, so you've got nothing. So, again, what AEW has done here is they've already established a story as to why this would make sense. And then in terms of character logic, cool. MJF is like, you know what? Fine. I'm the best in the world. Because as of right now, he fucking is, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just saying, cool, you have your shot, Kenny Omega. Fine. You want to have a shot? I get to call the stipulation. The stipulation is if you lose, when you lose, you never get a challenge for this championship in AEW ever again. Now the stakes have been raised. Now this opens up a lot of possibilities for the actual match itself. We could see Kenny losing because Hangman and Page lost in the same way.
Yeah.
Right? We can see Kenny...
It's not like it's the first time that stipulation has been in place and it's just a consistent one that MJF keeps losing. He's had it done several times before.
Yeah, and he's won 2 of them.
Yeah, and so it's not like it's a new concept or it's not like it's a false concept. It's
Exactly.
something that he's basically the king of.
Yeah,
He's
that's his match. It's his
yeah.
stipulation. You know.
It's the I don't know to say it, but I mean it's the devil's match. I mean, he could literally just take the moniker on of that, and every time he wants to challenge someone to, if you lose, you don't get to challenge for this. Just call it, I'll challenge you in a devil's match, because he calls himself the devil.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, like, I don't mind having specific things like that. Now we have Death's Door. You know, also just a
Yeah,
great concept. Like, instead of just being a 12-man cage match, no. If you have that many people in, you get the bigger cage. It's called Death's Door. It's more dangerous. Fine. That's perfect. I like that. It
yeah,
gives me something to like talk about and like think about. Be like, oh, that's a good concept or a bad concept. Just so happens these are two good concepts.
yeah.
Again, looking done correctly.
Yep.
So now you have the god of pro wrestling versus the devil. There you go. There's a theme there. Fantastic. Again, just this is just really good booking. And now initially the idea was, you know, whoever wins the Owen Hart Cup tournament wins that, and then they get a challenge at All In for the title, for the AEW World Heavyweight title, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm pretty sure we saw something very similar in WWE with regards to a tournament and some being able to call their shot at a certain event called SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken.
You
Not
lost
a
me. You lost me.
he's not a very
You lost me.
popular guy. In
No, you
fact, he's
lost me.
probably one of the least popular people on the WWE roster.
I don't remember this.
He's quite
stipulation.
short. He's not very strong. No charisma at all. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the wrong person. I'm thinking of Hornswoggle, not Overfemi.
Oh yeah.
Right, who decided
You brought,
no.
yeah, you
Even
brought me
though
back. Yeah, yeah.
right,
Now I
yeah,
remember.
right.
Now I
It's
remember.
all
Now I
coming back.
remember
It's
what
all
you're talking
coming
about.
back
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
who did the exact same thing, won a tournament to call his shot at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. I'm sorry, PLEs, because let's be TKO about it. And then decides, no, I don't need it. I'll get another one. It's cool. I'll face Brock Lesnar. You know what? Might as well make it a Hell in a Cell. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah,
Bad booking.
this feels like wrestlers. This feels like wrestlers being told what to do rather than wrestlers doing what they do. Like on
I don't even know if it's
AEW,
that.
wrestlers are doing what they're paid to do, and they're calling their shots, and they call like they're doing all of this. Feels like in WWE, we know it's scripted. Don't get me wrong, but we know in WWE, it feels like you're being told to do this, and there's no chance of a fight back. Like you can't go.
Sure.
I don't want to do that. People aren't going to believe this. I don't think the wrestlers, WWE superstars, have a say in anything. Whereas I think AEW, if they don't agree with something, they'll be like, nah, actually, I want to do it this way, and there'll be some leeway with it.
100%. I'm sure there is at least, if not a lot, more than WWE when
Yeah.
it comes to that sort of thing. And you have to. It's their characters, right? You watch a great TV show, like, you know, inherently, it's not generally about the actors or anything like that, because no, it's the director's vision or the writer's vision. But the more you are this character, the more you understand them, and then you're allowed to have more say in the seasons later on.
But
That's how characters grow. That's how characters work.
It kind of proves it in the point of WWE have a general manager and they get told what to do, so they tell others what to do. AEW has a creative team, but ultimately, every time they say a match has been made, it's Tony Khan. It's not Nick Aldis has advised because someone from TKO or Triple H or
Adam
whomever
Pearce trying to get it's official over. Stop.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a thing.
It's done.
It's not.
It's over.
No one cares.
It's official. It's over.
Yeah, enough now. You are not
Whatever.
a superstar. You're a bold weirdo. I don't like Adam Pearce. You suck.
But that's what I'm saying. AEW doesn't have a general manager. They just go, okay, like MJF and Kenny Omega really calling this out. Like Kenny going, I want one more title shot, blah, blah, blah. No one had to make it official. MJF just went, cool, but here's this, like you said, here's the stipulation.
And then we had to check. And again, let's draw some parallels here, guys. Let's draw some parallels. MJF, the world champion in AEW, has his part. Cool. You want a match? I get a cool step. Didn't Sammy do something very similar on SmackDown and say, like, don't I have a say in this? And they were like, no, you don't. Why become champion if you don't have a little bit more say in anything?
But even then, okay, running parallel, Briscoe calls out MJF after Double or Nothing. Briscoe calls out MJF. MJF goes, nah, not you. I'll take on Roosh. Right? You have to earn your match, Mark. Find a way to earn it. Sammy, again, has just gets told you're going to be in a match. It's tonight for the championship. Sammy's like, okay, well, if Sammy had gone, okay, cool, I want to pick who I want to face because I'm no longer facing Cody.
Which also, again, let's be real. Surely at that stage, you can't just be like, "Oh, we've got a mystery opponent for you." You're the W. Has Roman ever faced a mystery opponent?
But again, Roman also is like, "Oh, I'll pick who I want to face. I don't want to face Jacob." And then Jacob does something. Is like, "Okay, fine, I'll face you, Jacob." Seth comes out, is like, "Oh, I don't want to face you. Oh, but you still have to prove your point to beat me. Okay,
brother.
fine, I'll face you." Yeah,
brother.
You haven't beaten me, brother. You have to prove yourself against me.
Get the same beard, brother. Same haircut, brother.
Brother.
Promo of the year, maybe. Who knows? That was hilarious.
But at the same point, Roman then gets baited into it and goes, "Yeah, okay, fine, I'll face you." But MJF is going, "Nah, not you. Yeah, not you. Sorry, no title match for you this week, but I'll take you on in a match."
Yeah,
whatever. He's calling stipulations. He's calling his matches,
and I like that. He's the champ. He should be able to do that. And I'm not saying he's because also like if he was ducking a lot of dudes, then Tony Khan would step in and be like, "Okay, well, you're not fighting anybody, so you're now going to fight 7 dudes, whatever."
Yeah.
Again, it's just in terms of logic, you need to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to the original point of Will Ospreay wins the tournament. Okay, so now he has a lot of history with Kenny Omega as well. We've spoken about this at length on previous episodes.
Yep.
Right. So you can understand that Will is rooting for Kenny because they have that mentor-mentee relationship. So backstage, he's told Kenny a few times, like maybe, well, in a previous episode of Dynamite, or maybe on Collision, if I can't remember which one, he says, "Just think about it. Don't do anything hasty. This might be your last shot. If I win it in All In, I'd like to face you again.
Yeah.
And if you lose, we can't do that." Okay, so now there's even more stakes for Kenny. So you've built, in a very short amount of time for Kenny, you've built so much stakes for him accepting this stipulation. And he's like, "You know what? I'm back at 100%. Shout out to commentary for really pushing that home during their match. As to saying why he could do all these like superhuman things that he did. We'll get to the match in a sec. Right? But it makes sense. Okay, so now we got stakes. Now we have bad guy MJF versus last chance Kenny Omega. Right? Cool. Then we start the show off with fisticuffs between Will Ospreay and the current AEW champion, MJF. Yeah. That animosity is there. They know they're going to face each other at All In. It gets heated. They start fighting. Cool. In universe, I'm invested in that match so much. So now I'm thinking, well, Kenny might lose. Yeah. So now I'm super invested in this match because now I don't know who's going to win. So there you go. Book it.
They've kept you open to the idea of both matches rather than just saying, well, it's a done deal, MJF's going to win this.
Yeah, or Cody's going to face CM Punk at SummerSlam.
Whatever it is. But again, that is another issue for another day because I haven't watched it. I did read that this morning. But at the same time, is Sammy getting his rematch at Saturday Night's Main Event for it? No.
They didn't say anything about it.
But if they do, we kind of know, done. That's it. Sammy's going to lose because we've already got Cody versus Punk at SummerSlam. So if Sammy goes, "I want my rematch at Saturday Night's Main Event," you fucked it.
And they're not gonna Daniel Bryan him and putting him in a triple threat.
This is why it's never going after the person, going after the title, because AEW have gone, Will Ospreay gets a chance at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Not AEW, not MJF, right? It's not going.
Omega, yeah.
Ospreay is going to fight MJF at All In, and then you get Kenny Omega running this match with MJF, and then Kenny loses. But they've stipulated as Ospreay versus MJF, so MJF's not going to lose this.
Yeah.
And WWE don't swerve that way. 98% of the time, they don't swerve that way. They say, okay, you're gonna again. Point in case was WrestleMania with Punk Roman.
Yeah.
He gave all these title shots to these different people, but they've already established Punk Roman. That's what's getting people to the show. So if you deviate from that, people are going to be pissed off.
Yeah, because a lot of people will only buy a ticket to go see Punk and Roman at WrestleMania. And fair enough. That's because of the people who you like. Yeah. But like you said 1,000 times, you leave it open-ended for the Royal Rumble says, I want to challenge for X title. Then you can do the world is your oyster at that stage. You can hot potato this thing.
Yeah. So you left that person in limbo. All you know is they're going to be in the match.
Yeah, and let them win matches.
And against
They
you.
can squash fools for all I care. They're in the main event of WrestleMania against someone. Doesn't
They
have to
can
be
get
who,
they can get
someone.
squashed. They can get squashed for 3 months
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden win it at WrestleMania.
doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah, I would actually love that as like a someone's like a really heel person winning the Rumble, saying I'm going after this title, and then every time he has a match, as soon as the bell rings, he goes tap tap tap. I'm not gonna risk getting injured.
That's genius because it literally is. I'm saving my energy. I'm getting myself prepared, and I'm
Yeah,
pissing
I don't
people off in the
actually have to
process.
wrestle. I will lose all the way until Mania. I won the Rumble.
Mm.
I get to face whoever is champ, not Roman or Punk or Cody or Seth, whoever has the title at the time. That is great heel move. That'll get you more heat than anything else. There you go, WWE. I just booked you something else. We just booked you something else. Anyway, we digress. Goddamn, it really pisses me off how easy this can actually be versus how
Yeah,
hard they make it for us. You know what I mean?
yeah, of course.
But then, I mean, so you had the fisticuffs. You also had like a really impassioned promo from Kenny Omega backstage with his boy Knack about like what this means to him and why it's so important. And I
Yeah,
like that it was just these two things. You had the prelude of Ospreay and MJF, which is a potential matchup, and you have Kenny Omega by himself because we don't have to retrade everything that happened on Collision between him and Ospreay and him and the Young Bucks because we just saw it.
yeah,
Let it just be Kenny talking to us about what it means to him. You raise those stakes. He's the underdog in this match. Cool. Again, nothing wrong. Absolutely perfect. And then you tell your two best wrestlers on your roster, have a sick match, and what do? They knock it out the park.
yeah. So I had reservations from within the first 2 minutes, and it was simply because I just thought, please don't let this get sloppy. I get it. They're on the beach. They're in humidity.
It's hot. It's
It
hot,
gets
hot,
hot,
hot.
gets slippy, everything. But MJF, when Kenny countered the German suplex and he slipped and he sort of rolled all the way back, MJF was obviously standing there, but he was like, he sold it pretty well because it was like, what do I do? He wasn't like, what do I do? He just sort of was going,
I need to do something
okay,
else.
what's going to happen? And then Kenny obviously recovered, and the match turned into an absolute banger of a match.
Yeah.
It's just I got concerned when he slipped that first time. I was like, how often is this going to happen? It's
Come
been
into
a
effect. Yeah.
long day, or been a long time outside there. You've already had several matches.
Yeah, the ring ropes are slippery. There's sand everywhere.
It's who knows what's going to happen. I just like it put me at like a little bit of a moment of going, oh God, please don't let this turn into a slip botch fest. That's just it was just an initial thought.
Sure,
and then obviously
100%.
they recovered to put on an absolute banging match, but that like had my reservation. But
yeah,
once they got over that, and as I say, credit to MJF, he sold it in the sense of he's waiting for Kenny, but he didn't sort of just stand there and go.
Yeah,
he was like
and mess
waiting for
around.
something.
No, yeah. So he's a
And then,
professional because he knows what he's doing.
Exactly. And they just recovered from it, and that's what it was. Like they recovered completely.
And then after that, I mean, I honestly thought this might be in my top 5 best matches of the year. Like I loved every second of it because, again, and I bitched about it a lot in our previous one about what a hot mess WWE is, and even in our Forbidden Door one about I'm not a big fan of too many false finishes, but in a 25-minute match with stakes like this, with so much on the line. Yeah. That's when you do it, and it got me hooked. It had me jumping out of my chair a couple times, right? I mean, it was insane when MJF hits a reverse Hurricane Rana off the top rope, onto Kenny, and Kenny landed like square on his noggin, or at least like again just the way it was sold, and Kenny was selling like an absolute beast in this match, right? It looked crazy, and then. Again, MJF, just the great heel that is. He didn't stuff around, he didn't gloat, and he loves to gloat during matches. Straight into a heat seek, and he has used the heat seek before. It's not one of those once in a while finishes. When he hits it, people stay down.
Yeah.
1, 2, kick out. I was like, I genuinely thought it was it. Because again, they built it up, especially the stipulation, where I know people have lost to the stipulation and will never be able to challenge for this title ever again.
Yep.
So it had me hooked. It reeled me in real good.
You know what? It was. I also had Code Thursday. I laughed at it as well because I think that was the kick out where he kind of looked like a flopping fish.
Yes,
Where he
it was.
went, and
Which I liked.
like,
I kind of
I
liked.
thought it was funny. I laughed. I was like,
Because he
okay,
didn't
cool.
do this. Yeah, you literally went, huh, just to get shoulders off.
It's just so bizarre.
I thought that it sold it so well, like just the desperation of Kenny. At least I did laugh though.
I was like,
it looked a bit goofy, but I loved it.
But the thing is, he's such a professional, and he is, you know, he's obviously one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
You forgive him for that sort of stuff because he can still put on like a comedic piece to it, and you don't let it go, but you take notice of it and you go, oh my god, that's why he's so damn good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, because it was
100%.
very much it almost felt like a nervous twitch kick out where your body just sort of shudders, and it obviously raised his shoulders, which was great.
No, exactly. And I mean, I love that after that, you saw the because I mean, this match it didn't start off slowly or anything. It wasn't at 100% right away. I would say it started at about a good 75 to 80% like speed wise. But again, in that heat, but then it kept ramping up. So after that, they also again because they've been selling the pile driver as a move for months across like multiple matches. MJ finally got Kenny in one, and again I was like, oh, maybe this is it. But then this is where we get a little bit of shenanigans in the match, which again makes sense for an MJF match. We know he's going to try and cheat at some stage if he feels he's not going to be able to do it without cheating.
Yeah.
Right. So, and again, just awesome heel work, very Eddie Guerrero-esque, I would say.
Oh yeah, no, very intelligent of draw the ref's attention to one way and then
try and sneak him with the left. You know what I mean?
Because didn't he give him a Diamond Dynamite? Didn't he give him the Diamond Dynamite ring before?
He gave him. He has two though.
That's it. He gave him a Diamond Dynamite ring.
One, yeah. And again, hides it in his little shorts, his little bungee snugglers, and you know, cool, makes sense. He's done it before. We've seen him do it before. So yeah, essentially what he did, everybody, was he grabbed the AEW title. He's gonna come in, absolutely destroy Kenny Omega's face with it. Ref obviously sees it because he's doing it very blatantly. Because again, in terms of heel work, maybe AMJF is just looking for a DQ.
Yeah, doesn't need to,
which is fine. I mean, again, we could go on and on about consistency and how long they were outside the ring and stuff, but you know, that's beating the dead horse at this stage in wrestling. Like, what's even the point of the counter? Anyway, I digress.
Again, it was the whole it's at the ref's discretion. You know what? Even a little line of dialogue kind of helps.
It does a little bit, but I'm still
it makes it palatable. It doesn't mean it's great. It makes it palatable in the sense of we're expecting the counter and they go, look, it's a title match. It's at the ref's discretion at how he wants to call this.
Sure.
Because, I mean, a chair was used for one of the pile drivers by MJF. Surely that's a DQ, but nothing happened.
Yeah. I mean, it was directly onto a chair.
Yeah.
But again, then that also comes into does the commentary table count as a weapon if you get smacked through it, which MJF did?
Yeah.
That V trigger. So also early on in the match, everybody, there was a sequence. MJF on the outside of the ring doing the whole, I'm going to fall off, you know, it's sort of dangly bit. Kenny with the V trigger, and then MJF just took a full somersault straight through the table, and this table exploded. It looked great.
I love it because they go, oh, the tables, you know, as we know, they're reinforced. You knew that was a cheap table.
I went chink. It was literally like, it was a very sort of Looney Tune-ish hole where MJF's head went through first, which I thought was pretty funny. It was like breakaway.
It wasn't even like a normal table that they get from under the ring. It was almost like a.
It was like
plywood.
Like styrofoam, where it just snaps like real quick. But again, I don't care. It looked cool.
Yeah, it looked fun. I like it.
I know. We know this isn't like this is a suspension of disbelief. Then it's the spectacle at this stage.
Yeah, of course. And you don't care. You go, oh shit, he broke the table. Afterwards, you look at it, you go, that wasn't a proper table.
Yeah, exactly. But at the time, I was like, oh damn, he went straight through that. Then the table barely ever breaks. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, that's why it broke.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, okay, cool. But I mean, you come back to it, and like he obviously distracted the ref using the belt, whips out the second ring, and then we get the run in from Osprey.
So now, also, just before we get to Osprey running in, um, can we
What do you want to touch on?
get rid of the title belt quicker, ref? It's
Yeah,
not that
what took you
hard.
so long?
It
What
took him
took you so
forever.
long?
Like, why are you calling someone to grab it? Just drop it on the outside of any. I know refs don't do that. I know they don't. But this took a lot longer than it needed to in this situation, I thought.
Yeah, good thing it wasn't a WrestleMania ramp. Otherwise,
Yeah, can
Osprey
you
would
imagine?
Osprey would have had to start running when MJF went through the table.
Yeah, he'd still be on his way, actually. I don't think he would have made it. But yeah,
So,
either way, I mean, again, small little thing from my side. I thought the ref took way too long to get rid of the title. But again, you need this time to have Osprey run out, because Osprey was like, no, if this is gonna be Kenny's last chance at a title match, he's
Needs to
gonna
be
do
fair.
it clean. Fine, cool. Runs up as MJF's winding up, rips the ring away from him. Sweet. Except that we get a little bit of a false finish, if you know what I mean, because Kenny grabs the title belt, and now he's doing the Sami Zayn thing where he's all like more like the Bailey thing, I guess you could say. It's like where he's debating whether he should clock the bad guy in the face, while the ref is very much distracted by Will Ospreay on the outside, who's clearly baiting him in to have Kenny have this moment.
Yep.
Well, he won't. He does. He want to win it with honor or not? I'm like, dude, this is your last chance. Hit him. Hit him with the thing. Do it.
Just take your opportunity.
No one's gonna
be
no
mad.
one's gonna boo you about this. Never.
No one's gonna be mad. Everyone's gonna probably cheer you.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say, dude, hit him again. One more time. One more
Take
time.
it out.
They
Let's
will.
do it.
The biggest heel in the company, who's like treated every one of you and your homies like absolute trash for years. Smack him in the face with the title ball. But Kenny, the honorable Kenny Omega, does not do that.
Yep.
And he gets a swift hit in the dick for it. Good for MJF. That's what you get. You had a shot. This is your warning shot. It's like you didn't take it, dude.
But it's the low blow, and then it's the belt.
Yes. So obviously, yeah. So Kenny drops the belt after he gets low blowed, and MJF has no qualms about this. He smacks him in the face with the belt. Cool. And then Ospreay is like, I just cost Kenny Omega this championship shot. I've screwed him up. Oh no, how am I going to lift muscle? He's studying it like an absolute madman on the outside of the ring. And the crowd is absolutely losing their mind because we all think the same thing. After the Poison Rana, Reverse Hurricane Rana into the Heat Seeker 1-2, this is it. And then we get an absolutely incredible kick out at 1.
Yeah, 1. Not even like a late 2 9/10.
No, this was at 1. And this is what I was saying earlier about commentary absolutely citing the fact that this is Kenny Omega at 100, and he's a different beast at 100. You've all been facing Kenny Omega with his stomach issues for a long time, and you forget he's the cleaner. He's the god of pro wrestling. And I thought,
this is OG Kenny.
This is OG cleaner Kenny Omega, the god of pro wrestling. He kicked out at 1 after being low blowed and hit with the belt. Oh, it's over. And then Kenny hulked up. Can't say it any other way. He hulked up.
I have to give props to the camera work there because they go to MJF, and MJF's obviously he
sold it as well.
He sold it, his disbelief, and he's like, no, and he's consistently shaking his head. Then they cut to Ospreay, and even Ospreay's like,
well, Ospreay's like bewilderment, and like the music is like, he's kidding. He was a fan in that stage. Because
he was not Will Ospreay the wrestler. He was Will Ospreay the fan.
He was Will Ospreay the fan in that moment, same as the rest of us were. We went straight back to 10, 15 years ago when we were still bright-eyed. There was still a glimpse of light in our eyes. There was still hope in front of us. We all felt it, and after that, I mean, it was enough of MJF's cuck. After that, this was straight up. And then, I mean, Kenny Omega's V-trigger has always looked deadly. He hit 3 in a row that looked harder and harder and harder.
Because it was the first 2 were from behind or from the side.
Then off the rope, MJF turns around dazed and confused, looks straight at Kenny, and like he just ate that knee. Like, square. Like that was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, my boy. And he was full for the rest of the evening, and he was like, you know what? How about a 1-win angel for dessert? And again, clean as a whistle. Thank you for laughing at my breakfast analogy. I do appreciate it.
awful, but yes, I'm
It
used to
wasn't
it
awful.
by
These are really good. I think
now.
you're just mad you can come up with the breakfast, lunch, and dinner one first. But I digress.
They don't need no pizza. They got food there.
See, that's good. I like it. And then look, no false finish here. That
No.
was 3 re-triggers and 1 win angel. You are dead. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega. That's how you book a title change a little bit after a pay-per-view.
But at the same time, it's also about the willingness for the story. Because I don't see someone like Roman
Ever
doing that.
No, whereas MJF is flat out, if this is what makes better wrestling, I will do it. And again, this is what you were saying earlier. I think MJF in that sense was asked, "Are you cool with dropping the title here?" He was like, "I think this will be dope because of X." Hell yeah, undoubtedly. And as champ, as MJF, the biggest draw in AEW probably, he could easily have said, "No, I'm going to Wembley."
Yeah,
because he has a lot of stake there. You know, he's headlined it before. He's done before.
It's kind of like, I don't think they've pigeonholed themselves now, but now we know it's Kenny versus Ospreay at All In. So it's fine. So we kind of know then it's going to be 9 weeks of Kenny Omega. So any title match, or sorry, not 9 weeks, 6, 7 weeks, whatever it is. But any title match he has, we kind of have the understanding, unless they really want to swerve us back. But now you sold that, that's going to sell the rest of the tickets for AEW, in my opinion. Like, it's going to be a big selling point.
Absolutely, I agree with that. But also, I could see it not going that way. I could see MJF calling a shot or something and winning it back. You know, using the rest of the Don Callis family who are still kind
turning
of
it into, like you said, turning it into a triple threat.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I called that after Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Ospreay and Omega do in a one-on-one.
Of course.
But give me MJF and turn it into a triple threat, and that could be an absolute classic.
Yeah. See, now, what I also like about it, this match specifically, just before we get there, is obviously MJF also came out to the ring with a taped up knee, and he sold that knee throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
So I could see them running a play that says, well, MJF's going to be gone for a while because he busted his knee, and then makes like a return after that match at All In between Kenny and Ospreay. Like, cool, I'm back now.
Yeah.
The devil's back, and he wants his title. He wants his Triple B back. Big Hebrews in the house. You know?
Yeah, I can see that as well. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't mind.
Yeah, because
when you don't mind.
But this is what makes this whole booking decision really good, because it opens you up to a lot of different things. A little bit earlier on, and we'll get to that match in a bit, you had half the Don Callis come out and call out MJF, but now they get to face Kenny rather. Cool. Mm-hmm. He has more history with the Don Callis family than MJF does. There's a lot more history there. Cool. You've given a lot of options for this now. It's like, really, like, it's just so well done. I can't actually put it into words right now.
What I want to see in the build-up, and I think we will get it in bits, I don't think it'll be full on, but I would like to see is, obviously there's going to be a lot of friendly, I'm glad you won,
but I'm coming for it. Yeah,
we need to turn it on type thing. I want to see if Kenny Omega puts off an outstanding performance. I want Ospreay, or vice versa, to kind of look at the camera and be like, watch this, and then put on a banger just after that one, like a one-upsmanship thing, because obviously,
I like that.
Do you know what I mean? Like a literal one-upsmanship of, I see your match, now see mine type thing.
Like, the following weeks, like, I saw your match, that was great. Watch this. I'm gonna face Speedball Mike Bailey now. You know, something.
That's what I want. It's just like very good banger matches.
Just
so, like,
show everybody why these two are gonna put on the greatest match of all time at All In. Build that up. That's a great story right there.
Again, if you're gonna keep them both as faces, you can do it that way, and you can still save product.
Yeah, 100%.
Still save the show. You don't have to swerve and turn one person heel. Like, and if it is going to go that way, I'm seeing Ospreay be the one, because he's part of the Death Riders, right?
But again, you wouldn't want that, because you don't want him booed. He won't get booed at Wembley.
No, but he's the only one. But of the two, he's the one I see turning. But if you have them do the literal one-upsmanship,
then
you raise the stakes of who actually is. Kenny Omega is still great and he is still showing why he is doing what has been able to do for the last 20, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
But Osprey is that next level, and he's got so
Yeah.
much respect for him. So let's rather see who is the better wrestler without needing to create a face heel dynamic.
100%. Tell that story. Have it then. Who's got more 5-star matches? Well, Osprey has like 19 based on Meltzer's rating system, or like more than that at this stage. Kenny might only have 10, which is still crazy, but he's the only one who has a 7.5-star rating. Talk about, like, use that. I love that. I think having the one-upsmanship thing is great. You turned MVP face because of the one-upsmanship thing with Matt Hardy years ago.
Yeah.
And it just made us want to see that match more. Like, who's actually better at stuff? Cool. I like that.
Because you could also
do that even. You don't even have to do matches all the time. Have them be like, well, okay, we both put on banners last week. Who's better at shooting threes? Fine. Cool. I'd watch that. I'd watch the hell out of that.
Something little literal, like small fun or whatever. Like, you don't have to make that. But if you're gonna do like the wrestling one-upsmanship, have it be, say, Osprey versus Speedball, right?
Yeah.
Then the next week have Kenny versus Speedball, and it's like, because you're comparing them down on the same level. Because there's no way you're going to get the same type of match if you have Osprey versus Speedball and then
Kenny versus Jack Perry,
Mark Davis or something like that.
100%. Brody,
two different types of matches.
Sure, 100%.
But have them compete
so you'll have
the same opponents.
Yeah, Osprey versus Speedball Mike Bailey on this Wednesday, and then have Kenny face Kevin Knight, for argument's sake, and then on Collision reverse that.
Yeah, and that's like, oh yeah, okay, I see the way that you wrestled, blah blah blah. And again, you can do it every couple of weeks. You don't have to do it every week, but it's just that one-upsmanship that I want to see.
I love that idea. I think that's an absolutely phenomenal idea. Do that, because I'm not going to boo either of them when we go see them.
No, and I don't think that. I do think Osprey will have the home crowd favorites,
but it's Kenny Omega. So
it's Kenny Omega, and he is
switch a crowd like that. No issues.
He's been one of the best for decades.
For a reason.
So I don't think it's going to be. Osprey is going to have that home crowd advantage, like I said, but it's not going to be an easy choice for a lot of people.
No, it won't be. It won't be like 90% likable Osprey, and there's a small 10%. This will be closer to 50-50.
Yeah,
I think at the start it'll be like 65-35, but then it'll very much even up as the more the match goes on. Because in this situation, again, Kenny Omega is definitely the underdog, even as champ.
Yeah.
So, again, and this is why the thumbnail looks like it does, everybody, because this was a booking masterclass.
Absolutely.
This is how you book a championship title change leading into one of your biggest PLEs of the year. Well done. No notes. Well, I mean, plenty of notes, but no issues is what I mean.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, the way you look at it, I am glad that they didn't do the whole thing after Kenny won where like Osprey runs out and meets him in the ring type thing.
Yeah.
Don't need to do that. Don't need to do it for everything. Kenny just celebrated in the ring.
Yeah, the Bucks came out to cheer with him. That's fine. They're part of his trios. Cool. You're celebrating with your homie. It's not like you had and again, you didn't have to have an Osprey, but you also didn't have to have Kevin Knight come out, and stand on the ring like, I'm coming for you. Kenny's like, no. Let the moment breathe.
Yeah.
Super happy with that.
I mean, double dubs up.
Double dubs up. Everything.
Double dubs up, man.
I could give it 4.5 dubs up at this stage. double dubs up.
We're gonna exceed the limits on these.
Well, I mean, if they keep putting on absolute awesome stories like this and matches, absolutely, we're gonna have to. We'll change our system if it calls for it.
Yeah,
and AEW are making a really, really strong case for us to do so. But already, and we've still got, like you said, a month and a bit before All In.
I mean, it's the 30th, so it's like 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we still have, is it Redemption or whatever it is that's coming up at the end of July?
I think so, yeah. I think it's Redemption.
I think it's called Redemption.
But again, it's fine, because you don't even have to have your world champion do it much there. You can have a sick match against someone, sure.
We'll probably get Kevin Knight versus Kenny Omega at something like Redemption, because they keep pulling in these chits for.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, and I'm fine with that.
These matches.
but you also have like the blow off match between Champ and Jericho.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I mean, if we're there, so they had their beach break match.
Yeah.
Following like their whole story. That was a fun match. I
Yeah, it
thought it
was pretty
was.
fun.
I thought it was going to be more of a street fight kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't disinterested, but I wasn't on the edge of my seat. Does that make sense? Like, I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, it was a fun match. It was a really fun match.
I
Like
had
it,
some
get, it gets
fun.
it gets a dub for me for
Yeah,
sure.
I got it as a dub. Yeah, definitely, because there was a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of fun map pieces. There were a lot of fun spots.
Yeah.
You know,
Blood.
blood,
That was
but done
great,
right,
but done right. Yeah.
not done stupidly, done right.
Yeah, because obviously we had Chris Jericho bleeding after like a double underhook face buster kind of thing on top of the steel steps, busted him wide open.
Yeah, I mean, the
Um,
way he dropped him hard, so it was
yeah,
almost like it was like he was literally going for and like the double underhook suplex or whatever, or the double underhook pile driver.
yeah, and
But he
sort
just
of
kind of like just dropped him, and he hit hard, man.
yeah. I thought like I mean from the way it was again camera work was great because from the way it looked, it looked absolutely shocking. Like damn, oh he hit hard, and then they held it, but then they did cut away. So I was like, oh, did he actually bust him open the hard way or? Because
I will
again, that's
see.
just like really good camera work. Because I was
Are
like
we
very
seeing the
impressed. I was like, oh, well done, well done. It was again, bravo, camera team, you did great. But yeah, I mean, there's a bit of outside shenanigans. Again, the ref probably could have counted it a little bit quicker, but this is the AEW, so let's be
Yeah,
real.
but I mean,
But it's fine
yeah,
in this sort of heated rivalry. Cool. It's again by the ref's discretion, as commentary like to put it.
yeah, and it's
And then
again,
yeah, Chris
it was,
Jericho did great. He still looks like $1 million. I think.
yeah,
He hit his line salt really well. Well, I mean,
he
Trump got his
looks
knees
good
up.
as well. Like he doesn't. There were parts from what I've seen in matches and actually just in general of like 2, 3, 4 years ago, or even like in the last sort of 2, 3, 4 years, where Jericho looked like he was at his age.
Yes, I agree, hundred
And I don't
percent.
want that to sound disrespectful. It just looked like he was aging a bit. This match, and even the ones that he's put on since he's returned,
Yeah, no
he's
issues.
looked good.
Since he came back and started feuding with Ricochet about like how old he's getting and like Ricochet using like the Rickasalt now.
Yeah.
He's put on like really good matches where like he looks perfectly fine. He probably just needed a break because again,
So,
it's no disrespect, but he's like 50 now. He's over 50, I think.
so I have to ask you this: if we get the blow off match at Redemption, I think it will, as we just call it Redemption for now. It's probably something else. But do we get this blow off match at the end of July of the next PPV? Which bald wrestler is Jericho going after next? Because I do love the fact that in the middle of the match, Tommaso Ciampa looked at the camera and went, "Bald is beautiful."
And then
Bitch.
kiss that bald dude on the head. That was also again like good
Oh, bald
crowd
is
work.
beautiful, ass clown. He's like, "Bald is beautiful, ass
Ass
clown."
clown. Yeah, that was
And
great.
then he, like you say, he kissed the bald guy on the head or whatever. Like, and I'm loving this because it just keeps Jericho alive by doing all these little quips and going bald in the middle. Or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
great. I mean, he's got a lot to choose from.
I mean, you could go
Kyle Fletcher's
Claudio.
bald ish. I mean, I know he cuts his hair, but
Claudio.
Fabio, I don't know if I put him with anyone in the Death Riders just yet, but
Yeah.
I hear you. It would be a great
Okay.
match. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's obviously a bunch that they can find.
Yeah, again, like just if you go back to the vignette of MJF when he was potentially cutting his own hair, and like all the people he walked past, there's quite a few of them. But
So
bald is beautiful. I'm getting there myself. You know.
bald is beautiful, ass clown.
But yeah,
So, yeah,
so
dude.
the match was really good. Jericho gets Ciampa in the walls of Jericho, and then there was a bucket filled with sand put into the ring at some stage. Ciampa reaches for the buckets,
Yeah, and he was
try
going to hit.
and then
He was going to
but
hit
Aubrey
Jericho.
Edwards saved the day, kind of.
Well,
Um,
it was code breaker type thing. It was the code breaker that he hit. He was going to hit him with the bucket of sand, and then Jericho hit the code breaker. So that's
yeah,
how
he
the
dropped the
sand.
bucket. Yeah,
Yeah, it
sprawl
ended up
across the
all in
yeah.
the ring.
Again, good in-ring storytelling there. Walls of Jericho grabs the bucket. Aubrey's like, no bucket. And like this is what I'm saying with the title match. She got rid of the bucket fairly quickly. But
Yeah.
because it was such a quick sequence, like as she turned and was about to throw the bucket out, Ciampa grabs a handful of sand, pocket sands Chris Jericho in the face, straight up pocket sand. That was crazy. I laughed so hard. And then yeah, Ciampa got him for the 1-2-3 after his running knee.
I mean, it was good. Like
I
again,
liked it. It's
fun
just
part.
this is a fun dumb match that Chris Jericho knows how to put on.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. I mean, obviously,
the shenanigans afterwards was a little stupid.
it was a bit bizarre, and like, again, the comedic relief of it. He hits him with the chair, whatever, and then he tries to grab the drill again.
Yeah, a drill. Okay, attempted murder.
Electric drill. Yeah, attempted murder. Everyone stops him, but then he picks up the little sort of the life ring or the buoy floater, and then he pops it and whatever. It's like, okay, it's good comedic.
What made me laugh more about that was he couldn't get it, like, because obviously it's an inflatable object, so he couldn't obviously get enough pressure to like get the drill to actually bite before it popped. And then when he did, he was obviously pulling the trigger on it, and it grabbed and spun with his hand. I thought he was going to stab himself in the hand with this thing because he panicked. He was like, "Oh shit!" I saw that.
Again, comedic relief. That's all really we needed.
So I don't know. I was gonna ask you now. They're gonna have their blow off match at Redemption. What kind of match should they have? Because I'm thinking you could have a drill on a pole match. What about a sandcastle match? You know, you could have a lot of fun with this now.
I don't know.
It'll probably just be another street fight, to be honest. But listen, if it's anything to go by, and this is a testament to Ciampa not being used well in WWE. Again, booking everybody. Yeah. He has put on some of his best matches of all time in his short run in AEW.
I mean, I go straight to the Mark Briscoe match.
The Mark Briscoe street fight match, still to this day, is absolutely phenomenal.
It was brutal, disgusting, but in the best sense of it was an amazing match.
Absolutely incredible match. Though.
And again, like this, that was a brutal, hard match. But then you have a match like this with Jericho. It's a bit comedic, bit all over the show, bit of fun. He can still put on a match like that. So he shows you
he's got range.
But he did the comedic thing with Johnny Gargano when he kept trying to RKO Randy Orton. Like you watched all the mini social media stuff, and he kept trying to RKO Randy Orton every left, right, and center. And he was always going through tables or he's landing on the sound boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
And really whatever. Good stuff. He was doing absolute brilliant comedic work there.
Yeah, because we've seen him do it before. Yeah, so let him. Again, this is what you were saying earlier. Let the wrestlers like dictate the creative side of stuff because they know their characters better than you do at this stage. So they know what they're capable of.
And being in the ring with someone like Jericho, who again has the range to do everything. He can be serious and go deep when he needs to, but at the same time, he is so much more of a comedic wrestler, but people don't give him enough credit for it.
Which is crazy because that's how he came into wrestling and was there for so long. People just like sort of lock onto his monotonous speaking heel as his best. Like no, Ass Clown Jericho was hilarious. You know,
like the comedy heel.
His stuff with Kevin Owens as the comedy heel is we still talk about that today. It's some of the funniest stuff WWE's ever put out. But that wasn't WWE. That was Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens.
Even the stuff he did with Christian.
Yeah, hilarious stuff.
It just works. Like he. I think if you can do comedy acts, you tend to survive longer because you have the range. If you keep getting stuck in serious shit.
Yeah, unless you're Randy Orton, you kind of get left behind.
But even then, when he formed RK Bro, there was a lot of comedy. He actually worked with it, and it found a new range to him.
Sure, yeah, a range I never saw. You know,
so
I mean, give a lot of credit to Matt Riddle in that sense as well. Like,
yeah, of course.
But I hear it. I get you.
But like the lighthearted stuff keeps your career going longer.
Especially with Jericho, like if you can come up with something like the Jericho Appreciation Society, and now the Bold Thing, and the Learning Tree. Dumb stuff that should never get over, but he gets it over. He's proven time and time again he can do it. And Chop is just as good as when it comes to doing that. He can do super serious. He can do stupid comedy. He can almost drill himself in his own hand by accident. You know.
But again, I don't know what match we're gonna get as a blow off match. It just whatever it is, it's either gonna be ridiculous or it's just gonna be hard.
Yeah. Either way, I think it's going to be fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to it. That's the thing. I'm also really looking forward to how they're going to blow it off now, you know?
Yeah. So let's just see what happens.
Yeah. Gets a dub for me. Again, fantastic work. Fantastic booking, man. Can't say it enough right now. We did get a surprise title change on this, though. I say surprise because obviously the MJF one could be considered a surprise because we didn't know which way it was going to go. But this was more of a surprise for me.
Yep.
And that is obviously Kyle Fletcher beating Konosuke Takeshita for the for the
International.
international championship.
Which,
Phenomenal
yeah.
match again. These two have just like the greatest chemistry I've seen
Oh,
in a long time.
oh yeah. I straight away I gave this like as soon as I had double dubs up straight on this.
Yeah,
I
100%
like
double dubs up for me.
straight on this. It was an incredible match. How do I put this? I haven't seen enough of Carl Fletcher, but I know a lot of Carl Fletcher because of you.
Yeah.
And that was just an absolute performance.
And so
I've seen a lot of Takeshita. I haven't seen a lot of Fletcher.
yeah, because when you started, like, he had just come back from an injury.
Yeah.
But when we do eventually release episode 0, my wrestler of the year or
For 2025, yeah.
for 2025 was Carl Fletcher. You know, and that's why, because he's so good.
Yeah.
And he was never like until he like left Mark Davis and like Will Ospreay, like, you know, Protocol. I liked him, but you didn't really get a lot of his. He wasn't a super heel or anything like that. He get a lot of personality. He was just putting on good matches. But now with his character work and stuff, especially as like a mini Don Callis with his bald head as well.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I really like it. I really enjoy like everything that he does. And Takeshita is just a next level good wrestler.
Because they proved it in the sense of they gave us what is a great way to start because they both know how to do it, where they had a lot of locks and a lot of technical prowess in the beginning. But then when they get going, it's hard hitting, it's technical mixed with the hard hitting. I wouldn't say high flying, but agile movements from both of them.
That's smooth.
Yeah, like
there's no like waiting to like try and get the momentum. No, it's like it very seems like just always in motion for everything that they do.
Yeah, like they didn't need to reset into a move. Like if someone was just off, they wouldn't do it. Case in point, the first Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yeah, looked incredible.
But I don't know if Fletcher's if he held onto the ropes or his arm got caught under, because obviously it's Kesh that bounced him, or he ducked. And Fletcher bounced into the ropes, but his right arm got caught. Yeah. Now, I don't know if it got caught or if he grabbed and just forgot to let go.
But Takeshita like a caught at all.
But Takeshita, like he was out of range for it. Takeshita still grabbed him and hit a perfect Blue Thunder Bomb. And that's what I'm talking about, like what you're saying. Smooth, no need to worry. He didn't feel like he had to stop.
Yeah, walk a bit closer and then like get in. And then
he just picked him up. And that one shows
incredible strength.
Incredible strength by Takeshita, but two, the ease of which they moved and worked together.
And the trust. The absolute trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I say, you know, it's easy enough to call it a botch, but it was just sort of like a misplaced moment rather. But at the same time, Takeshita didn't have to think. He just went on instinct and he hit it.
Yeah, Carl's like, cool. He's got me. It's fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, even like the one of the earliest moves in the match, like Takeshita hit him with a pile driver, and then very seamlessly turned it into a wheelbarrow German suplex.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. I can't remember if they've done it in a previous match. It looked insane because it was smooth as hell. I really liked it. You know.
I mean, it was, what I did like was also, I don't know if it's a stab or if it was just in the moment type thing, but when Takeshita did the sort of Triple H water bottle thing, because Fletcher, I loved it. Fletcher grabs the bottle and he drinks, he looks at camera, you got to stay hydrated, everybody. Like, again, a serious match, but little comedy bits. Yeah,
because it just shows your personality coming through.
Yeah. And
like, you can have that.
Takeshita knocks him out and grabs the bottle, and then he does the sort of Triple H thing, because he sprays the water, he goes, but he kind of just spat it all. He didn't really do it. It was just funny. Like, again, it's small moments like that just make you go, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, again, little things like that always make me like smile when I watch a match like this, because I know it's serious, but I also know that these two do have personality that can come through, and when they show it, I'm like, cool, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, again, like this is where, I mean, they both look good throughout the whole match, as we've just like, you know, spoken about.
Yeah.
So Takeshita's Raging Fire looks awesome as a finisher. I really do dig it. But you know, Carl Fletcher doesn't get the 1, 2, 3 from that. And Kyle's finishing move being a brainbuster, I do like because not a lot of people do use it.
Yeah.
And when he does, it looks like he probably like
Serious.
drops you like on like top of your skull, and like you should be out cold. But Kyle Fletcher gets him up onto the top rope, and I've always liked. I mean, Sami Zayn used to do it in Ring of Honor and stuff like that. But the top rope spinning brainbuster always looks so sick, and I'm glad that's how the match finished.
Yeah.
Because I could see Takeshi not kicking out of that. This wasn't like one of those, oh, well, he kicks out of everything else, false finishes. It's like, no, like top rope, brainbuster, you're out. 1, 2, 3, we got a new champ.
But again, it's well, like you say, done right, okay? Because when Takeshita hit the Raging Fire, Fletcher didn't kick out. He put his foot on the rope.
Yeah.
You don't, again, that's not really like a false finish. It's intelligence.
Yeah.
That's intelligence.
Exactly.
Like that's the small difference between Takeshita doing Raging Fire and Fletcher kicking out and then Fletcher winning with the top turnbuckle brainbuster. It's him using his intelligence going, fuck, I don't need to exert my energy. I know where I am.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not out cold, but I can see I'm within rope range. Sweet. And shout out the ref for catching it. Good for the ref. Not difficult for ref to see that.
No, it's. I think that's going to be a sticking point from now on after Clash in Italy. But
it was so dumb. It was so stupid.
Yeah, it was terrible. But again, at the same time, that shows you like it's not just a false finish every single time on a finisher. That is where you go, okay, that's how it should be done. Stop kicking out of every finisher. Like you say, protect the finisher.
100%. And again, there's nothing wrong with it because of the fact that it also tells a story that if Takeshita was a little bit, if it was early on in the match, he probably would have hooked the leg. That one specifically. But you're exhausted.
Or would have looked around to see where Fletcher was.
And drag into the middle of the ring or something. But even then, that protects it a bit more if he had done that because you've wasted time pulling him into the ring. You've shooken him up a bit.
Yeah.
So again, well done. It's just really well done in-ring storytelling.
And again, I wouldn't fault it at all. Like I said, I don't think there was the only thing was that literal Blue Thunder Bomb, but that shows the professionalism that they managed to work with it. And again, we analyze things, I would say fairly well. That's like small details some people may have missed.
I mean, I forgot about it actually because again, it was so smooth. It was just like that was a sick Blue Thunder Bomb. Until you brought it up, I was like, oh shit, that did happen actually.
So I mean, I think he hit him twice with a Blue Thunder Bomb.
He did. The second one was also like he bounced off the ropes, and just like because Kyle Fletcher was going for his big boots, picked him up, spun him around, slammed his ass down. The Blue Thunder Bomb of Takeshita's is just beautiful.
Oh, it's insane. But I love that move anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. But like, there's just something about the way Takeshi does it that just looks so crisp. You know, it's like when you talk about who has the best spine buster or who has the best spear, best Blue Thunder Bomb has to go to Takeshi.
Yeah.
Not that a ton of people do it, but
no. I give it to you that I think his just looks. Sammy's looks great, but his just looks better.
Yeah, because he also gets so much height.
Well, he's taller,
height, but also the speed that he gets on it. Yeah, the velocity. That's what I'm.
It's incredible the way he does it.
Yeah, fantastic. But anyway, like we said, got a new champ. Again, what was surprised me is like obviously Takeshi just won it, so it was a very very short title reign as well. But
yeah,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. I like the fact that I like him better as a chasing face than as a take on all comers face because we do get a lot of that in wrestling nowadays.
But at the same time, you look at it technically. The international and the AEW championship title or the AEW title, they were held for the same amount of time because they were both they both changed at Double or Nothing, and they both got lost at Beach Break. And you've done a really good job to transition it and put it on Fletcher. I wouldn't have anything like I'm not upset that Takeshi, like you say, not upset that Takeshi lost because, like you say, he's a better chasing face.
But yeah, just surprised at the time. I was like, oh damn, they actually put on Fletcher. But again, now Don Callis has even more belts in his arsenal for his family. Is Okada gonna be jealous of Kyle Fletcher now? Because now they're pro Okada now.
Yeah.
And that was his first. So is there gonna be more infighting within the Don Callis family? I hope so.
Who knows?
Who knows? But again, it was a great match. The interesting part post match was we had our first TV appearance of Mick Foley himself. It was a fun little segment with him and the Don Callis family. I'm not sure why he came out initially, to be honest. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's obviously just contractual obligations, and I think he lives around that area. So
sure, yeah, and again, not mad that he came out at all. He came out to like, it seems to genuinely congratulate Carl Fletcher. But then
yeah.
obviously Don Callis had to stick his nose in there and like, insult Mick Foley, which you don't need insult
So
Mick Foley.
so this is where again it could have been uh this is where we could have seen a bit of the tension rise between Fletcher and Okada. Okada didn't come out, so I
Yeah.
think maybe they're saving that, which I'm fine with. I don't
Yeah.
need to rush straight into Fletcher and Okada getting into a staring pissing contest with each other straight after he's just beat Takeshita, which they both did. They just didn't want Takeshita to be champion. Both of them. That's it.
That's it.
But I don't
Yeah.
need to have a whose big dick is bigger than whose dick is bigger contest stare down by Okada coming out and going, "Oh, I want that." I'd rather Okada actually just be like, "Okay, cool. I'm actually going to go for the AEW championship,"
Which is what we've wanted for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even him going, "Okay, well, I don't need the international one. Let me go take on Moxley and take on the Continental Championship."
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Let me go for something like that. Bring different belts. Like, okay, we've got the international.
yeah, we
Let
got
me
the
go and get
TNT, we got the international, we got
let me
the other one, the national one.
the ring or the AW. What is it? The NWA National Championship or the ROH National Championship? Whatever.
Can't
The one
remember.
that Mark Davis is.
Mark Davis owns it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So have Okada go for either the AEW Championship or again like the National Championship or something where he can. I mean, the
Continental one, yeah, because it's on Mox.
Sorry.
Sure, 100%.
And bring more, like you say, bring more gold to the family. You don't
Yeah,
have to have this infighting between him and Fletcher, like you had with him and Takeshita.
Because we just had it.
Yeah, we just had the infighting. We don't need more infighting.
Glazing how good the booking is in AEW. Again, we don't have to rerun internal conflict between Don Callis family members. We already have it a little bit with now Andrade, who also ran out to go assist Mick Foley.
Oh, Andrade's good.
Yeah, again, also just like this was just like a smorgasbord of like weirdness. You had Mick Foley come out to sort of congratulate Carl Fletcher, but Don Callis doesn't want Mick Foley there because why? Fair enough, there's Don Callis. Then they start getting a little bit like, well, I'm gonna beat you up, Obviously, Mick Foley had a great line about his shoes and shoving it up Don Callis' ass.
Yeah, one of his pets.
One of his pets at Don Callis' ass, which was hilarious. And then they were like, "Oh, well, you want to threaten? Cool. We're going to take out the legend Mick Foley." And then, yeah, Andrade comes down. Sorry, I lie. I'm actually, that's not exactly what happened.
Oh, whatever.
Kevin Knight came down.
Yeah. So did he cock up when he said the DC MJF?
Yes, he did. But he did recover pretty well.
He did recover pretty well, but like you can't miss it.
He did laugh at himself as he said it, though.
Yeah.
He's like, and this is for the DC MJF who went, oops, the Don Callis family. Simple mistake to make, I still call a lot of things incorrectly.
That's what I'm saying. You're probably gonna get Kevin Knight versus Kenny Omega at this.
Well, he kind of called out Carl Fletcher a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking like, don't do more infighting for titles with the Don Callis family. I don't need to see it right now.
He also did allude saying, oh, I still want my title shot because that's why Andrade came. I was like, I still want my AEW title shot. Doesn't matter if it's MJF or Kenny Omega. So that's why I think it's either going to be
I'm not...
or it could be Andrade at Redemption or whatever it is.
Sure.
Whoever it is going to lose, but I don't mind because it will still be a great match.
100%. I think it's more because again, I thought it was weird, but not in a bad way. I also just think it's Kevin's character now. Yeah. He's that cocky of a heel that he's like, I can take on anybody and beat you. So it doesn't matter who I call out. MJF, Kenny Omega, Carl Fletcher. It's mine for the taking,
Yeah.
So I think that was more.
I want to beat 2 belts.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, then we had Andrade come out. And he wants to take just a title from the Don Callis family because Don Callis promised him a title shot and never gave it to him. So fair enough. Again, consistent storytelling, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Cool, yeah, you can take on Mark Davis, but you have to beat Jake Doyle first." Which fine, it gives Jake Doyle a little more to do, within the Don Callis family. We don't see a lot of Mark Davis, but I would love to see Andrade beat him for this thing because that's how I'll keep it going if you want to keep this feud going. And then they were like, "Cool, that'll happen next week when you face Jake Doyle. But everybody get him. And then, a few of them ran off to go beat up Andrade. He ran backstage. Darby came out for a surprise attack as well because he's got beef with Kevin Knight, one of the guys who also ran backstage to beat up Andrade. Hit him with a skateboard, but then obviously it's Darby Allin, so he doesn't know how to count. He didn't realize it was 3-on-1 at that stage, and he got beaten down really quickly. It wasn't the greatest save he's ever made.
But I mean, Darby Allin versus Dunkzilla, Brian
Jake
Cage.
Doyle. Oh, it was Brian Cage, yeah.
And Kevin Knight, like.
Yeah, you're not going to win the fight, my dude. Like, you don't have to be able to count to understand, like, ooh, big boy equals pain.
Yeah.
But anyway, then we got one of the funniest moments of the night, easily.
But again, relevancy, right?
Yeah.
Because Kevin Knight knew what happened. He went for Cage went for Darby's bag, and he's like,
no, don't do it. So he was savvy again. This is good consistent storytelling, good booking.
Intelligence.
He's like, I got blown up at Forbidden Door. I don't want that to happen again.
No.
Don't touch the bag. But also shows just how smart Darby is, because that wasn't the explosive device. No, it was the skateboard. And then they grab the skateboard and it just blows up. Seemingly, it just blows up out of nowhere. And then they're like, what happened? Oh, what happened? And it's like, he did it. And then, the camera work on this show is incredible. Slow pan across Andrade. Big, I'm talking, guys, if you're listening, it's about the same size as your entire forearm to your fingertips, like your elbow to your fingertips. This big remote control looks at them dead in the eye and says, how you know?
How you know? But it's just like, but the way he delivered that one was perfect.
Yeah.
Because he obviously asks the questions. Like, I ask you one thing, how you know?
And in context, it didn't make any sense, because it's like, no. This had context.
This was brilliant. It's because it's like, oh, it was him, and then it cuts to and he looks at like, how you know?
How you know? How you know? That was great. That was so good. I laughed so hard because obviously we all knew it was Andrade, but as it exploded, because I could see, this is one of those times where you can see the punchline coming from like 50,000 years in the future,
but it worked.
But I laughed anyway because the delivery was great, the camera work was great. They all sold it incredibly well, and then it's sort of like, then they cut away, but obviously I'm sure they argy-barged backstage a little bit more, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good. It was, again, I think it was a way for them to eat out a chunk of time to help fill the spot, but at the same time, it worked, rather than it just being a spot to fill. And by this, I mean like the whole of the Don Callis family coming out, doing the Schlock of Spieling, then Andrade coming out with it. You've already set up multiple things there. You know you're going to get Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight at some point for the TNT title.
Andrade's got a match against Jake Doyle now, So you've done it. And now instead of sitting on it and then moving straight on, you also have a bit of character development with all of them backstage and a few catchphrases and that. It's great.
But again, Andrade, not someone I liked him in WWE, but not someone I thought in AEW, even, just there as a character, I was thinking, I want to like him or whatever. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
And he has a way with the crowd. But I was also like, I don't know. It's like Leo Rush. He's organically, I'm like, I actually want to see more Andrade. I want to see more Leo Rush. Organically just going, these are the guys that I want to now see. Because they're putting them in spots for them to shine. And they're putting them in spots where they can show their proper character and their arc.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than just being a filler spot. They actually give them things to do.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it the other day. And again, this is why I like in AEW too, very much like sort of the Attitude Era with the stuff. Because everyone seemed to be in their own little story. Like, well, I suppose what we were talking about was, or when I was explaining AEW, when you first started watching, it's like, everything feels more within its own universe in AEW. Where it's not just the main event guys and the guys you see do backstage promos. It's a lived-in world. Right, so when you have a guy like Andrade who, was in WWE, then came to AEW, then left, went back to WWE, now he's back in AEW, you think to yourself, well, what are they going to do with him now? They barely did anything with him last time. It's like, well, actually, no. Like, he says, I guarantee it was probably something goofy backstage where he just started saying it to people. It's like, well, how you know? And someone's like, that's money. It's like, well, let's give it a shot. And now it feels more lived in. It feels like, well, to me, it's like he's always said this,
Yeah. It feels like it's his catchphrase, but it's just it's literally something he's done within the last, in this return to AEW.
Yeah. I mean, Again, it just feels more lived in because now it's not just a case of oh well, like the only people you ever hear talk are the main event guys and then a few specific spots like a Mox or you'll get a
Yeah,
vignette from Jack Perry who's like potentially always going to challenge for one of the mid card titles. No, it's like well Andrade's there and he's got his own little storyline within the Don Callis family who has 7 members. It's very
yeah,
different. Brian Cage just came back to TV looking bigger than ever and he's getting so much TV time now. I'm like, oh, what's Brian Cage going to do? It just
yeah.
all feels
What's
very
gonna
lived in.
happen? Yeah,
So it's just again, it's incredibly well done, right? In terms of again, this is
uh,
why the thumbnail says booking masterclass. This is how you do stories. This is how you
yeah.
book properly.
This is how you keep things relevant and set up new things.
Exactly, except for one thing. And you said before we jumped on the potty today, you weren't a fan. Neither was I. We had a random squash match in the middle of this
Yeah,
incredible show.
I personally think it was weirdly. I think it's a way for them to so that they could have Osprey on the show to do what he did to help Kenny naturally, rather than because there were a lot of people who weren't there. So like Cope and Cage weren't there, so it'd been random if they did something.
Yeah, but
The
see,
dolls weren't there.
I feel like they just having him backstage had that signal to MJF kind of set that up.
Yeah,
So, but I hear what you're saying. It's what I found the weirdest
yeah,
about this more than that
mm.
is the fact that him and John Moxley are a tag team now.
Yeah. It's also like
So anyway, sorry, before we carry on there, Gozzy, basically everybody, John Moxley and Will Ospreay defeated a team called the Workhorsemen in a very short squash match. That's the long and short of it.
yeah, they gave them more. I wouldn't say credit, but they gave them more time than I thought they were going to. Like they
Yeah,
made the
but I feel like
Workhorsemen look
that's how they were trying to fill up time more than like even with the
anything
post stuff.
else. Yeah, like it was unnecessary. Like I've got no rating for this. Like I've literally got no rating for this. I wouldn't say it was
mid.
terrible.
That was mid.
It was just not necessary. Like I've got no dub at all.
Yeah.
But it's just literally because it just didn't feel like it was needed. Like I get when it was a filler match to help take out the TV time, shall we say, like the allotted TV time.
Sure.
But you could have built more maybe with a couple more, and this is probably where it wouldn't have been a bad thing, is a couple more vignettes or a couple more promo pieces with other wrestlers.
I feel you. Yeah. Give us or like a recap of some feud that's happening,
Yeah.
Something like that. I feel you.
So, like I say, it was not terrible.
Yeah, it just sort of felt there.
Yeah. It wasn't, yeah. It was just like there's not much to say about it actually. It was just there.
Actually, talking on that, I feel like this would have been like the perfect sort of place to maybe put in why the Death Riders did what they did on Collision last week, where we weren't sure what they were doing if they're turning heel or not.
Yeah, that's where you could have given us that
a bit of context.
Like you say, like an explanation. You could have had the Death Riders in the back using all like the outdoor gym equipments at the beach. They're at a beach.
Yeah, well, like like they had like a suitcase full with money, and now they buy new gym equipment.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. That's why they did it. They got paid to do it. Cool. Happy with that. That's fine.
Tell us about that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Just anything that sort of gave you a little bit more reason as to what they were doing, as opposed to because we know what's going on with John Moxley and him trying to like push different wrestlers to get better, right? That's his whole shtick now. I just don't understand why he's doing it as a tag team with Will Ospreay. But again, I'm sure they'll explain it. We got plenty of time for All In for this to become a thing. What I don't want is I don't want this to become, if it is just going to be Kenny versus Ospreay at All In, where we have the Bucks on one side getting involved and the Death Riders on the other side. Because we've run that story a little bit too much in the past.
That's fine. It just needs to be a one-on-one match.
I think so. Okay. But anyway.
I don't mind getting the high package of the Moxley hyping Ospreay up, saying, "Listen, I know he's your friend, but you have to go to a different place. Your mindset needs to change. You need to challenge yourself. You need to prove to him that you're better than him."
Yeah, we were here to help you win the tournaments. You're on your own now. Cool.
Yeah.
And have the Death Riders hype them up, do the little circle jump thing that they do.
That sort of stuff. Yeah, like
cool.
That's fine.
They stay away because they came out at in the Owen Hart Cup final against Swerve. That was fine. They didn't get involved. Happy with that. No.
They were there to motivate him. They just didn't
to motivate.
Swerve.
I don't want to see it again. You've motivated him. He's gotten to. He's there.
Do it before. Don't do it in the middle.
He's at the 1 yard line. Let him carry the ball.
Don't good analogy by the way. Don't come out in the middle of the ring, in the middle of the match to hype him up. Do it beforehand and be like you say, you're on your own, go do it. But make him realize he has to go to another level, has to go to another place. Like you've consistently been doing, that's fine. Yeah. It's like you've reached the tier, or you've reached the ceiling. Now you need to break that ceiling. You need to break that glass ceiling to get to the next point.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have all the pieces are in place. Don't mess with it now. So it just this whole match just sort of felt like it was there.
Yeah,
to fill up time again. No dubs. Yeah, not terrible, but it was a bit of a longer squash than ever.
But I mean, just to come back to that, obviously, when you mentioned Jack Perry, really liked the package they put on for him, saying like I'm staying in All Elite and so forth. Like I liked
it too. I like Jack Perry. I know I'm probably one of the few who genuinely like him as a wrestler, but I like him in Jurassic Express with Marco Stunt when he was still there. Like obviously this is going all the way back to the very first iteration of AEW when they debuted. Yeah. Right. The stuff with Punk, whatever, I don't care. I can understand why he probably didn't want to go to WWE if he had the option, because I don't think that would have gone down very well. But no, it was good. It was a good promo package, a very good high package for why he stayed and his motivations, like his history of being the scapegoat and coming back. Why Luchasaurus is always around. Obviously his dad giving him not marching orders, but saying to him listen, he's my kid, look out for him. He was like, absolutely,
you need to protect him.
Yeah, and I love that. Again, it gives you a whole different aspect to the characters for both Luchasaurus and Jack Perry.
Yeah,
and again, I like Jack Perry. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't think he's one of the greatest on the planet, but he's also I think 24. I think he'll get there.
He's still green. He's still got time.
Yeah, exactly. To
go, man. So, but yeah,
and I did like it. No, I thought that was great.
And then,
so now we sort of differ on our feelings towards this next and final match. This was the penultimate match before the actual Kenny MJF match. Obviously, we've spoken about that, but this was the Casino Gauntlet match to decide a number one contender for Tekla's AEW Women's World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest with you, I gave it a dub because of Tekla on commentary.
Fair.
Gold.
I said no dub, but purely based on her commentary, I'd give it a dub.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I have given it a dub. I think, there's nothing too memorable about the match, if I'm honest with you.
I don't remember. The one thing I do remember, sorry to jump in there.
No, it's fine.
Is, and like we said before we started this podcast, I'm going to speak about that in a bit, but so I suppose two things. But the one thing was I'm not entirely sure why the Triangle of Madness have such beef with AEW security. Okay, that's what I remember from that match more than anything else. You had Sky Blue come in fairly early. It was the order of the entrances was Athena, then Maya World, then Sky Blue, then Mina Shirakawa, then Rena, then Julie Hart, then Thunder Rosa, and then we'll get to the final surprise entrant. So, but you had Sky Blue come out fairly early, and then two more people, and then Julia Hart. Now, traditionally speaking, you'd say, okay, cool. Well, you got two members in a tag team. They're going to just absolutely bombard everybody else, try and take everybody else out. We've seen it 1,000 times, and it makes sense logically to do so. Except they didn't. Yeah. They started doing that, and then they were like, "No, get the kendo sticks. That's security guard specifically, and then that's one specifically."
I don't know. I suppose that you could call that the fun spots. It's just they're supposed to be.
They are the Triangle of Madness, not the Triangle of Badness. So it's all like they're doing bad stuff. Again, they're crazy.
Again, they were saying oh well, Julia and Sky Blue without Tekla are the Sisters of Sin.
Yeah.
With Tekla, it's the Triangle of Madness. Right?
Sure, fair enough. Yeah.
I think it's the more you look at it, the way that they define them and the way that they actually did that, where they just attacked the security for who knows what fucking reason, right?
Context, again,
whatever reason. It kind of puts them in the right, that's the way you do it right. In the sense of
explain,
but in the sense of you gave us Fatal Influence in WWE, and again we've spoken about this, who was supposed to be this wild trio of women coming in, wrecking shit, whatever, but you buried them. You can bury someone and still make them look good, and they did that with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and they've been doing that. Like
they
they
lose a
actually,
lot, but they do beat the shit out of you when they
yeah,
can.
and they come out and they help Tekla, and they do all this random wild shit. They're not doing it right with Fatal Influence. They're doing it right with Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
Yeah, we were looking for like a Fatal Shield fluence where they came in, and there was not that.
But yes, but again, I get what you mean. Like, it made no sense, but I thought it was fun. Like,
it was fun. Well, that's why I remembered it the most, because I was like, "This is stupid," but I'm really enjoying them beating up security guards because it's really funny, because they're also like labeling these dudes with kendo sticks.
Because there were so many of them, I obviously cut to multiple different cameras. What's up with Casual Friday? All these cameramen wearing like
the beach wear. I kind of liked it. I love the camera guys in that. I was like, they're on the beach. Good for them.
But you've got half of them wearing the all black attire, so they blend in with the surrounding. But then you get the other guys. One guy looking at a guy on the ramp, and he's wearing white chino, white short chinos with a green floral pineapple shirt. I'm like, what is going on?
They were they must have been on the links before they got to the show. They have hobbies too.
I thought it was hilarious, like, because obviously that's where it came more.
Casual Friday,
more camera angles. But it was just like, okay, I got it. But I was just like, I was a bit more distracted with that than the match, to be fair. Also, what the fuck is Mercedes Moné doing sitting at the top of the lifeguard thing?
Well, listen, I will say, in terms of what I said earlier in the show, like, this was like a mini PLE. I love the set dressing. I thought the arena itself looked incredible. The gigantic lifeguard chair, touch of class. I thought that was awesome.
Well, it was used multiple times. Jericho used it. Kenny used it in his match where he did the moonsault off.
Of course, yeah, which also looked insane.
And I mean, doing a moonsault that high and then landing on your feet. Let's be honest, because you take the guy out, but you have to land on your feet so you can roll back.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't just like. You can't just cut angle off the cage it. Like
and you also got to just land on MJF.
No, you'll crush him. You'll absolutely kill him. But listen,
she used it right and just sort of sitting there, but at the same time,
well, I don't know why, because, and this is why I also kind of gave this match like a no dub, because if this is for challenging Tekla for her title, Mercedes doesn't have to be there at all. The only, like, she's kind of friends with Athena, but it's not like she's helped her in matches or anything to win. No. So I just wasn't too sure why she was out there at all.
That's what I was saying. Like, what was she doing sitting on the top of that thing, on the top of the lifeguard chair? Made no sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was quite distracting because every time they cut to a wide shot, you saw her like sort of flicking her hair and doing her I don't care enough about this. But if you don't care, why are you out?
Yeah.
I would have put her on commentary with Tekla, actually, just to see how they would argue about whatever they might argue about. I think it would have taken away from Tekla being as good as she was, sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, so I'm glad they didn't, but it would have made more sense for me if they had put her on commentary as well.
If nothing else, watch the match just for Tekla's commentary. That's it. Use
it as a podcast, actually. Yeah. Don't even watch. You don't even have to watch the match. Yeah, of course, watch the match. It is worth a watch for sure. But if you just want to have like a bit of a laugh for like 20 minutes,
standing myself.
But that's the other thing I wanted to talk about on specifically with Tekla's commentary within this match. The other thing I remembered was her commentary, but also her sort of indecisive commentary about her stablemates.
Yes,
within the Triangle of Madness, the Sisters of Sin themselves, because she was absolutely loving it when they were beating the crap out of these security guards, like loving it, like cheering them on. She was hilarious, calling all the other entrants bitches and stuff like that, which is just a catchphrase. I love it.
What is the one thing? The ring is now getting filled up with a bunch of dumb bitches.
A bunch of dumb bitches. Loft.
I can't, because I was like, oh, the ring's getting filled up now. Like what you hear. I was expecting something like what you hear in a Royal Rumble, and then she's like, with a bunch of dumb bitches. I was like,
bitches. Yeah, it was like perfect. Just the timing of it was it's like she was waiting for Excalibur to say it, and she was like she had in her little burn book, she was like, if he says this, I'm gonna say this.
It was great.
It was so good.
She's just too good, man.
But so she was obviously hyping up Sky Blue and Julia Hart at stages, but then when they were getting beaten up, she wasn't like, oh, go get them or anything. She was kind of canning herself a little bit, She is like, and I guess that's part of her character. Yeah, that she is just like an evil dictator. Why she probably got kicked out of Stardom, One of the reasons.
She's ingrained not to care.
Sure, fair enough. And
Let's
that
if
makes
you look at it
sense.
that way, she's
Yeah.
ingrained not to get. She'll associate with people who basically have a similar mindset to her, which is what Sky Blue and Julia Hart have.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be
She,
honest. Tekla would have assaulted the security if she was
for
probably in that
sure.
match.
She would have
That's
spat
what I'm
on
saying.
them.
Them doing it, and she was like, yeah, and she was encouraging it and laughing and whatever. Cool. But at the end of the day, they mean nothing to her.
No, for sure, for
This
sure.
is why
And
her
like,
character
and I
is
did, I
so
did,
good.
I did get that from it. I
Yeah.
just thought like maybe in this sense, um, she should have like I don't know, she had a little bit more allegiance for when they were getting beaten up more than anything else.
I can see that.
Just to like sort of issue with them, isn't she with them? Does she give a little bit of a crap about them? Just to also like build it up a bit more.
Yeah.
But again, I understand why they didn't. It's not a nitpick or anything. I just wanted to acknowledge that that's how like when I was listening, I was like, oh, that's a bit strange she's doing that. Because also within the match, when Rena came out, who's from Stardom, she was like, oh, I get along with Rena fine. She was in.
She was waxing lyrical. She's like, oh yeah, no, she helped me. Like we worked together.
Yeah, she was really cool with Rena.
So it was a bit, but still, I mean, obviously with that as well, you get three. I think I've got three of the best quotes ever said on commentary. Three of the best things ever said on commentary by Tekla.
Dumb bitches, it has to be one.
Well,
filled with dumb bitches.
Four. So four, because you got the rings really filling up with dumb bitches. So some dumb bitches right now. Okay?
Amazing.
But then she goes, it's like the dumb bitch battle royale.
Yes, okay? That was also great. That was amazing.
That filled me.
Like, did she say, yeah, you have Death's Door, now the dumb bitch battle royale?
yes, she did. So I was like, okay, she's hit absolute poignance that she's fucking hilarious. But I have to draw attention to the two greatest things ever said on commentary and about Mina Shirakawa. So I pissed myself and I laughed so hard I listened to it again, but I got Erin to come and listen to it and she laughed.
Nice.
Okay. But when Mina Shirakawa was in that ring, and Tekla goes, wrestling Mina is like wrestling a blow-up doll.
I thought you were going to say that one.
I pissed myself.
It was also when Mina was doing the chest jiggle.
Yes, that's what she was like.
So that's why she said it as well, just for context. Everybody, it was great.
So I laughed. And then she said, possibly the greatest words out of anyone's mouth. If me and Mina were friends, I'd be going all day long. I was like, you're really making motorboating noises on commentary. I pissed myself laughing.
I forgot about that one.
I
think I was still laughing from the blood doll one.
I could not stop laughing. Because I was like, there's no way she said that. And I rewound it and listened to it again, and I pissed myself. I genuinely, I was like King got in trouble for doing all sorts of shit. She's just doing this, and it's like passing by. I was pissing myself. Sorry.
Listen, I'm glad that they don't give Tekla any sort of script, because if she's gonna come up with absolute gold like that, it's fine.
Again, you've seen it with things like when Jay went out to do commentary, right? When it was LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso on the SmackDown. Not this, obviously last night's, but I think it was last week's SmackDown.
Yeah, I think so.
And Jay was like, oh yeah, LA Knight's a good wrestler. Oh yeah, come on, Uso, come on. Like, whatever. You're supposed to have free reign with it. And Tekla proves if you have free reign, gold.
Yeah, 100%.
Class. Like, you need to be able to just say what you want to say.
Yeah, especially within character. Yeah. You have to do it within character. So if you're a baby face, like a good baby face, then yeah, you're gonna hype them up and stuff. But you bring your own character into it. Like if you had, what's a good example? Like a Chad Gable, right? Who's a face now. If he was on commentary for that match between LA Knight and Jimmy Uso, he'd be like, well, after he would bring it within character, like, I'm, trying to redeem myself and be a better wrestler. And then he would probably talk more about the technical aspect of their match, right? And be like, yeah, that was a great move by LA Knight because of X and Y and Z, because he's a very proficient actual wrestler. He's a silver medalist wrestler. So that makes sense. Whereas Jay kind of was just going, and like trying to catchphrase on commentary, which the crowd can't hear you, my dude.
Yeah. You're doing this to the people on
TV.
On TV, and no one's going to be able to just sort of go, and I'm not going to sit there and go,
no. So again,
I'm not going to do that.
Tekla, she's like, well, people in TV land, they can hear me, so I'm going to be hilarious, and she is.
I'm going to be Tekla.
Yeah, I'm going to be myself.
I'm going to do everything that I need to be. to make you laugh or just to. That's why I love her. Like
No,
that's genuinely why I
that's why
think
she's
she's my
the
favorite
best
woman.
on best woman on the planet right now. Best
She,
woman wrestler on the
because
planet right now.
again, in ring she holds her own.
Yeah, it's a great wrestler. But
On
on the
and
mic,
on the,
oh,
she's just another level, man.
I need her to retain for as long as humanly possible until Tony Storm comes back, and I want to see them go at it on that microphone.
Oh, that would be
That
gold.
would be incredible.
Because I'm going to. All I'm saying now is I'm gonna be mad if I see Mercedes Money versus Willow Nightingale.
Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it because that was the surprise entrance here within the Scotland match, which is also another reason it didn't get a dub for me. I
Yeah,
knew it was probably coming, so did you.
yeah,
And I'll go on record, I've said it 1,000 times before. I'm not a big fan of Willow. I think she's a very fun character, and I think she's a very good wrestler.
yeah,
I don't understand why she's as over as she is, but that's just a personal wrestling opinion of mine. You know, her wrestling character doesn't do it for me.
yeah,
Fair enough, it's an opinion based thing. But she comes out for a huge pop.
mm.
Rightly, again, she's a fan favorite, and I get why. Again, just not for me. Um, and she kind of just ran roughshod for a while, which as you do when you're a returning babyface
Yeah,
after
yeah,
an
yeah.
injury.
You
Cool.
have the initial momentum,
Yeah.
and you take out
Um,
every person individually.
yeah,
You
just to
what you
showcase
do.
like, oh, I'm back now, like really
Yeah, what
establish
you do.
yourself. So cool. But now, I don't know. You have Athena in here, and she hit a few O faces, which is great. I was rooting for her because I loved
Mm.
Athena slash back in the day Ember Moon. Um, and then I don't know. A kind of after Willow had her initial run, right? She cleaned house. There wasn't much after that. She kind of just gut wrenched powerbombed Julia Hart and stacked her for a pin. It ended
Yeah,
very quickly after Willow returned.
yeah.
Which
And
again,
again, I
I know
think
you
that
don't want to exert her too much. Like she just came back, so cool.
yeah, that's the thing
Understand?
is you're really just saving her from another injury occurring by having this just cut short and bringing her out as the last entrant.
Fine. Totally get that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just felt very flat for me.
yeah. I can understand. I can understand that, and like I say, I haven't seen enough of Willow.
Sure.
Okay, heard tidbits and everything from like what you have said and seen some matches. When I just started watching, it basically just got injured.
Yeah.
So she obviously had to relinquish the TBS title. And yeah, I thought that that's probably where she would have come back to. But this is a match for winning. This is a title opportunity at Redemption or whatever it is for the AEW championship. Because if it didn't matter, if it wasn't for it and it didn't matter, Tekla wouldn't have been on commentary and she wouldn't have speared Willow right after the win anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Which I think Willow turned the wrong way, considering the way
She did.
Tekla hit it.
Like we've been praising Take the Spear for months at this stage. Yeah, I don't know if it was miscommunication on both parts or because it did
Well,
seem
it
like
was.
Willow maybe didn't turn quickly enough,
Yeah.
but also this was kind of just a running headbutt. It's
Yeah.
Take to just square in like the arm with her
And
head.
I think it was either a misplacement or a misstep from Willow. And again, it's not a big thing. It's just because Tekla spears with her left. She doesn't go from the right.
Yeah, and again, that's just that's a this is why you do house shows and stuff. It's
Yeah.
practice basically.
Yeah, of course.
And Willow's been out for a while, so
Yeah.
obviously they haven't wrestled each other. If they have, we haven't seen it. So yeah, again, I wouldn't even call this like a botch by any stretch of the imagination.
No. I think it was just a
It's
misstep.
it's just this a misstep. It's nothing bad, but yeah. So take the runs in, spears headbutts Willow really hard in the arm. While Mercedes is still on top of this thing watching, and then the Divine Dominion come out.
Yeah, very odd.
So obviously we have the Sisters of Sin come out because now they're going to beat down Willow because understandably so, they're heels. And this lady's going to now challenge for your boss's championship. Of course, they're going to run down. And also, Julia took the pin. So there's a little bit of animosity. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. Classic heel beatdown.
Yeah.
Divine Dominion come out. And then they destroy the Sisters of Sin, which, again, understandable. They're the Divine Dominion. Nothing wrong. Cool. But then commentary alluded to the fact that Mercedes must like struck up a deal with the Divine Dominion. So again, this is just like that lack of context. It's like,
But it's got no. There was There literally was nothing to it.
Yeah.
You brought that up, so that means possibly something is coming. Which again, if they've done that and they've alluded to that fact, it might be the whole thing of Mercedes Moné versus Tekla, and now Mercedes Moné with the Divine Dominion versus Tekla and the Triangle of Madness.
Sure.
Whatever.
Makes sense. Numbers wise are cool. Okay.
But it just, like you say, there's no context to it. It felt rushed. That was the one piece, it was like the one piece really of the night that just felt like there was no explanation to it.
There's no rhyme or reason for it.
I was supposed to just go with it, but we are questioning it because it makes no sense.
Yeah, again, this goes back to like what happened with the Death Riders last week on Collision and stuff, where they kind of like helped the heels out by beating down some baby faces, but they didn't explain why. I'm fine if you do it, but I do need a bit more context than commentary saying, Mercedes struck up a deal with the Divine Dominion. If this is because Divine Dominion feel like they've done everything in the tag division, because they did allude to them beating absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
Cool. Gives them something new to do, but then you got to let us know that.
Yeah.
Especially considering right before this, we also had a really, really fun vignette of the Brawling Birds beating the hell out of dudes in a pub because they're British.
Yeah, which was fun.
So obviously, but now that sort of says to me you're going to be pushing them a little bit more to go after those tag titles because again, it's an all-in.
Yeah.
So how does that? But then why are they helping Mercedes right now? Again, Mercedes is also the new TBS champion.
No.
No, sorry, no.
She's the own hot cup.
She's the own hot cup winner. Right. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. That's
yeah. Sheeta is the TBS champion.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make sense. So again, unless we're going to do like a triple threat here, which I'm fine with, but if it is a singles match between Willow and Mercedes, I'm sorry to say it, that's going to be a beer break for me.
Yeah, it's not going to. Yeah, it's just going to be a bit odd. It's just a bit odd,
especially with the generational run that Tekla's having right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess they're building that because I don't see Willow. I see obviously she's come back. I don't see Willow beating Tekla for the title when she does this at Redemption or whatever it's called. We've had enough time to actually look at what it is, but we haven't.
No, I can see because you kind of want Willow to go after Sheeta because she has a lot of built-in history with Sheeta and Stats and the rest of those ladies within the TBS side of stuff.
Yeah, it's Redemption, so we've been talking about it fine.
Yeah,
sorry. But
I'm glad, Shane. It would have been weird if you've been sort of it's Redemption, and meanwhile it's actually AEW Reckoning
or something, whatever.
Something with like a B. Like
I don't think she's going to win that, so I think they're gearing towards Tekla versus Mercedes Moné at All In because I think Mercedes is the one everyone is supposed to like, but Tekla's the one that I think people actually like.
Well, I mean, let's be real. I'm going to call her Mercedes Hogan a little bit here because I'm pretty sure she came back after dropping all those bars saying, I want my title shot back.
I'm pretty
sure that's why she won the cup.
She beats, if it ends up going that route and we get Tekla versus Mercedes Moné at All In and Mercedes Moné wins, I'm going to be booing her out the building.
I think everyone will boo out the building. I don't think there's going to be a single person in that building not shouting for Tekla.
Oh, dude, Tekla is like,
that crowd.
Like you said, on a generational right. She is just ridiculous.
That Wembley crowd, as soon as Mercedes comes out, is going to start. They're not going to be chanting CEO. They call, "You're a dumb bitch. You're a dumb." But
at the same time, like this could be the perfect time. As you say, this could be a perfect moment to have Mercedes lose to Tekla and then Toni Storm make her come back.
Yes,
because the crowd will go. The crowd will go fucking nuts.
And then you give us like one of the most over baby faces in a long time returning at a huge event against the best heel, one of the best heels in your company, if not the entire wrestling industry right now. Dope.
Yeah.
So
I'm fine
happy with that.
Yeah. And I know we go like they try pander to the crowd. That's something I want to see. That's not something that if you throw it at me, I'm gonna be like, you're throwing Mercedes Moné versus Tekla at me, and I'm going, okay, only as long as Tekla wins.
Yeah. If she wins, fine. Whatever. That's cool.
That's fine. And I'll enjoy the match if it is that way, because obviously, like I've said to you, I think Tekla is one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet. And as you've alluded to, probably the best women's wrestler on the planet at the moment. Yeah. So and like you say, we get Toni Storm back. The crowd will go nuts. You'll have world's hottest babyface against one of the world's hottest heels.
Yeah.
And you have two women on the mic who can literally let it fucking go.
Yeah. That's it. Because
I want to hear, like you said, I want to hear the promo packages between.
that's what I'm saying. Because like me, and we've said it 1,000 times, Mercedes Moné, even when she was Sasha Banks, has never been one of our favorites. She's not a crowd favorite.
No.
Doesn't matter how much you pipe in the CEO chance. Like, it's no. She's and don't get us wrong, she is a very good wrestler. In the ring, she's very, very good.
It's her personality. It's just
and on the mic, she sucks. She's always been very, very mid to bad on the mic.
Yeah. It's literally not taking away from her wrestling in-ring ability because she's
really good.
Really good in
top tier.
It's just you've got to have you've got to have the character to go with it. And I don't think that her personality, like you say, on the mic and everything, and goes with it.
No. Like, I couldn't tell you a single promo that she's ever done since we started watching her back in like late NXT days, because you know, I don't think we called her like earliest like start there. But I could tell you basically verbatim what Tekla said in her whole start and promos leading up to Forbidden Door. You know,
pretty much, yeah.
And like, I mean, we're writing down quotes from her on commentary.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that, but it's
that good.
I shouldn't be doing it, but she's just that damn good.
So again, this is why it sort of fell a bit flat for me this match, because I'm not entirely sure where they're going with the Divine Dominion and Mercedes.
Yeah, it's a bit.
While they're in, again, it makes sense if Willow's going to challenge at Redemption and lose it there, you know, and then go after Sheeta rather, which she should be doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. She had to give up the TBS for injury. Why is she not going straight back to that? I don't mind her coming back and winning this and then losing to Tekla and then going, okay, well, I had my chance there, but really, I relinquished the TBS title. That should be mine still.
Fine, good redemption arc. Very good redemption arc. Happy with that.
Go that route. That's cool. I don't think you need to throw Willow into the AEW Women's Championship mix.
I don't think so.
I think she's a good spot. She's a good spot and a good way to actually show off how good Tekla can be against a stronger, more fierce. Well, I wouldn't say fierce, but like a stronger,
more accomplished
wrestler in Willow Nightingale.
Sure.
And because she's also still, you're still trying to build the heat of Tekla as a heel, you can have her absolutely slate Willow Nightingale and just let Tekla do Tekla things.
Yeah, look, because I mean, if you unfortunately for Tekla, and there is an unfortunate thing when it comes to her, she's so entertaining. It's very hard to hate her as a heel.
Yes.
But with Willow, you have sort of a cheat code here, because if you say anything mean to Willow, it's like be mean to your little sister. Like, I'm going to be pissed at you. Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not even Willow's biggest fan. I'll be like, well, you don't say, Willow's so nice. Like, how dare you?
Yeah. She's like the nicest person on that roster. What are you talking? Why are you being such a...
It's like, no. I'm going to boo you now. you meanie. You got a meanie.
So it's a good way
it's a good way to build super heat for Tekla. But again, are you going to do that? Because do you want to have super heel after, if that goes down with Willow, super duper heel Tekla versus kind of generally hated Mercedes Moné? Or do you go be Tekla, which I would hate more than anything else right now, have super over Willow versus generally hated Mercedes Moné?
I don't know. The thing with AEW is, if this was WWE, I'd be going, Willow's going to win it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But this is AEW, so this is AEW. I'm going, I don't know. Actually,
now again, this is the AEW. I could see Tekla cheating to beat Willow and be like, well, I didn't lose, you cheated.
Yeah.
Triple threat. And you have a Daniel Bryan situation with Willow.
Yeah. I'm fine.
That's fine. I wouldn't mind that. If it's a triple threat, cool. Give me a triple threat then. But just don't give... The one thing we don't want is Willow versus Mercedes. Don't give us that. Tekla has to be there in some form. And I don't just mean they're at the arena or they're in the building or having a random match with the Divine Dominion for some reason. She needs to be there in the main event for the women's title.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we digress.
It is a bit, it's a bit weird,
but we'll see how it goes. Because again, we also, as we chatted about just slightly prior, we did get a really cool vignette, very old school sort of vignette for the Brawling Birds. So they're obviously going to have something to say with the tag titles. Again, they're both British. All in Wembley. They got plenty of time to build up. I'd like to see something with them where it's like, well, yeah, we did lose to Divine Dominion that time, but we were busy with the Owen Hart Cup.
Yeah, we
Obviously,
had other things
Jamie
on our
Hayter was doing
other
something else.
distraction.
So what we're gonna do is, and like, you don't even have to have them like win matches that often. I would say because there's quite a bit of time before All In. Give me
Yeah,
like what they did with MJF and Adam Cole, where there's a lot of backstage vignettes of them doing stuff as a tag team that solidifies them as a tag team, like the double clothesline or the kangaroo kick. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
any fun stuff like that of them beating up dudes in bars, to try and get better to like really measure up to the force that is the Divine Dominion.
yeah. Of
You
course,
know,
no, that's fine.
that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
I'd be happy with that. There's nothing wrong with. Again, keep them relevant, keep them in the picture. Don't overuse them. Don't oversell them. Don't make them look terrible.
No, they can face like face generally
But you're,
dislike tag teams like the Sisters
but
of
you're coming
Sin.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're coming home. You're coming to All In. If you don't have the Brawling Birds and you don't have Will Ospreay on the show, people will still be interested. Like
mm.
fans will still be interested, but we want to root for the hometown hero.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a thing. And like, say England don't win the World Cup, who knows? They might. As of
Yeah.
right now, we only have one team, I think, or two teams in the semis, right? Spain just
Well,
beat
you got
Belgium.
France versus yeah, you got France
Yeah,
versus
France versus
Spain.
Spain, right? And the semis, unsure about who Argentina's going to beat to get to the final at this stage. Because let's be real,
Corruption, yeah, the
corruption, bro.
so ridiculous.
So you definitely, so if they don't win, you could definitely have the Brawling Birds come up with this whole, or have this whole thing. It's like, well, it's coming home now.
Yeah,
The boys
yeah.
can't get it. The boys can't get it done, but we can. They've just shown they can beat up dudes in a bar.
And do you know what's fun about that? Do you know what's fun about that? The American crowd will understand it.
Yeah, they'll finally
Now
actually
they
get
will.
it.
They will finally understand it now.
Perfect.
Because
Right.
listen, everyone in America has been going, oh, didn't realize how
big the
good
World Cup
football
is.
is, and how didn't realize how big it is, or whatever. And obviously, you hear a lot of people are backing England now because no one wants to see Argentina. But at the same time, there's a relevance to that. If they go, the boys can't do it, so the girls are going to bring it home.
Perfect.
Cool.
There you go,
Like
AEW. We helped you with that one.
Like you said, you've just said it, and it is relevant because people now understand.
100%. So again, you could do a lot of fun things with it.
Yeah.
And again, that was a fun vignette just to set it off because yeah, it's cool.
Doesn't
make a lot of sense. No,
but I love how they played into what people think the British culture is.
Yes, I did like that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It wasn't fall.
No, I have seen my fair few bar fights, but nothing that extreme. Like, don't get me wrong, but I have seen a fair few bar fights.
I had to break up a couple when I was working at the bar, and they were like very tame. It's like, guys, stop. All right, it was pretty much
that. Like, I like that, but again, it was just. But it's also living up to the moniker. They're Brawling Birds.
Yeah, exactly. They love to fight. So. But yeah, anyway, no, guys. And then the final thing is also just a little caveat. After that, we also got a quick backstage interview with Speedball Mike Bailey, and he's going to be challenging Mark. Well, he has his eye on Mark Davis for the national gold as well. So I'd like to see how that sort of plays in with Andrade. If he beats Jake Doyle, he gets a shot there, and if how that goes. Because again, I didn't know much about Speedball Mike Bailey until he came into AEW, and then especially when he started tagging with Kevin Knight. I'll watch a Speedball Mike Bailey match every week. This dude is so good, and I like him. It's not the greatest promo of all time, but he is quite entertaining. I do listen to him when he speaks. So it was just a little caveat there. I was like, okay, cool. Speedball Mike Bailey is also going to be sort of involved with the Doncast family a little bit more now because he also has history with Kevin Knight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could get a bit of everything going there. But yeah, I also had that as a little note on mine. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens going forward with that and like you say, as a triangle, Speedball, Andrade.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be fun. I mean, look, overall, Beach Break, double dubs up for me. This was awesome. This is booking done right. This 95% of the storylines made perfect sense. I like how the choices that they made for basically every single match. I just really enjoyed it. This felt like a little mini pay-per-view for me. And I didn't expect it. I was like, oh yeah, the Wednesday Dynamite. So yeah, Beach Break, cool. The set was great. The camera work was great. The little intricate things that they did. Even the camera guys, some of them wearing beach clothing was funny. Tekla was great. That was a double dubs up for me, man.
Yeah, it was
This is
great. It
good.
was. I'm with you on that. It was like you say, just the right way to go around.
Yeah, 100%. It was just like a couple of hours that I thoroughly enjoyed watching. And
But
then I
again,
watched SmackDown, and that came crashing right down. Anyway, but that's for the next one, everybody.
so we're gonna, yeah, I think we can end it off there. I think we've covered. It
Well, I
wasn't.
mean, that was Beach Break. Look, I mean,
Yeah,
we will be back for covering SmackDown and Collision. I'm sure you have all noticed from watching or listening that we're sort of going away from fully recapping stuff because we feel like we don't super duper need to recap absolutely everything that happens in a match.
no,
It is more about the stories here.
it's more about the
It's
storyline,
more
the
about the
telling, and the
stories.
relevancy.
Unless the match is an absolute banner, and we have been getting a ton of those, in which case, absolutely, we'll break it down.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll be back with SmackDown, Collision, obviously Raw and AEW, Dynamite. Might be a bit sporadic with work and stuff coming up, but obviously we'll do what we can to keep everyone updated on the ins and outs of the wrestling biz, as we do here in the IWC.
As we always do.
As we always do. But thank you again, everybody, so much for listening, for watching, for liking, subscribing, for clicking the bell, doing the things, and always being, how do we say it, Gozzy? Too sweet. Unless you want to say something else, because I don't know. I still don't know how to cut these off, man.
Is it not recording your voice on the cutoff?
No, I'm talking to you right now. I haven't cut it yet. I want to see your reaction there.
No, it's all good. I think we're all good that way.
We're all good. Okay, cool. Then everybody, too sweet.
Too sweet.